Welcome back to Archero, and today we're fighting Medusa, the boss for the seal battle. Pretty fun boss. It's like the Whirlwind Monster, basically same stuff but with fire. Let's take a look. What do? I will try to start with the circle build, and then we will go with the arrow build next time. So the thing with this boss, it shoots multiple projectiles, and the thing with those projectiles that if you use the ranged build, you don't really need to move because they go right through you. And the second attack is usually a charge, which you would like to avoid though. So let's get the short range fight, and there we go. So this boss is horrible to fight with if you use the ranged build, because it moves around too much and you can't focus on it quite easily. It charges like that quite often and deals crazy damage. So you need to make sure that you're paying attention. You're paying attention, and when it charges, that you will go sideways. So after the attack, split second, and then you have to move. If you freeze the enemy, it might skip an attack and do a move again. So early on mistake doesn't cost that much, but as you go deeper into the game, yeah, this one is totally useless for this fight. The price of your mistake will be your loss, because you will be killed so easy. Super Blaze is really good. Even without the flame ring, whatever, it will do decent damage. Let's get the attack speed. So yeah, attack, which you avoid, and then charge, which you want to avoid as well. The best tactics is to learn not to move in the normal attacks. Most of those can be easily avoided without moving anywhere. And making sure that you... My god, I moved myself too much. God damn it. And staying at the range of the enemy. So the circle range is really good. It allows you to avoid taking any damage, but still good enough to deal damage to the enemy. So as always, just got... For circle, it's easy. You can just move in triangles and it will just follow you, and you can do decent damage. The frost though kind of changed it around a bit, because it allows you to sort of change its movement patterns, because when it's frozen, its movement will be reset, and it can do 2 charges in a row or 2 shots in a row, which you don't expect. Let's get the flame sprite, since we already got the flame thing. Circle damage would be nice. I'm curious if we'll be able to do decent damage now, or we're maxed out now. So the easiest way, if you don't need the normal attacks, you can just move around in circles. That should be good enough. The second option, you shoot a couple of times, wait for it to charge, move a bit. You shoot a couple of times again, move around, shoot a couple of times, move around, and that will do. There we go. 18 million, not that much, but still decent. Now let's move to the ranged build, so we can try to do way better damage, but from the range. For the ranged build, we use runes for the main weapon and for the sword strike, so we will try to focus on those, and also we will need quite a lot of freeze to keep it at base. So ice spike sprite is good, and frost arrows are good, but mostly the damage is nice. So we would like to get the fire and all that stuff, and as you can see, with the freeze, we can keep it at bay, but the cool thing, when you're ranged, you still have time to avoid the enemy's charge at you, so it will be easier for you to react and don't take damage, which is extremely important when the boss is already pretty strong. The drawback, though, that you will still move a lot, and it's really hard to do decent damage in that state, because you're on the move all the time, you don't shoot that much, and without significant attack speed, it's not enough to deal enough damage to the enemy. Or you have to be in the close proximity and in danger. So yeah, it can be avoided by using the enhanced weapon, enhanced bow that's kind of flying around, but you need to get it first, and you will need to add a lot of attack speed for that. Standing still is not an option for this fight, so let's get the cloud-footed, let's get those swords. And the cool thing for the ranged build, it's way easier to collect all those XP pickups, because, well, you will be moving a lot. And if you can combine all those energy ring, giant arrow, and the laser, it will do decent damage, but in this fight it still requires quite a lot of attack speed, because otherwise you just won't be able to shoot enough arrows to the enemy. Tracking, this is really good. So as you can see right now, after we pick up this skill, we already do way more damage to the enemy. We get the giant arrow that will allow us to shoot way faster. Really convenient. Let's get the strikes, and I hope we'll be able to make the proper build to just totally massacre the boss here. We can get enhanced weapon or attack power. I think in our case, already with our attack speed, attack power will give us more benefits. So we'll be able to deal way more DPS like that. Yep, and we can, if you learn the movement patterns of the boss, you can properly avoid that. Let's get additional arrow. So that will be cool now, look at that. We shoot 3 arrows that deal significant amount of damage to the boss. And if it's frozen sometimes, it don't charge at you that much, so you can utilize it to the max. My god, it's still moving too much. So yeah, look at the damage counter. If we stay still, we can just make it crazy. The problem is we can't stand still here. So enhanced weapon probably is one of the best options. And damage potential of the bow is really good, but for this fight, we managed to do way less damage than the circle build. So I think for this fight, circle build or enhanced weapon with multiple lucky upgrades would be better. Alright, we'll do another attempt with the bow build. The problem is you need to get really lucky with the skills in order to make it work, because you will have to move a lot during this fight, because it jumps around a lot. So circle build is way easier to fight this boss. And honestly, I think you would like to go circle build with this one. Otherwise, it still doesn't feel like a good match. Unless you get really lucky with stuff, you will get a Trekking Eye, you will get a couple of arrows, you will get bigger arrows, you will get circle attacks or circle lightning, whatever it is. Like multiple different things are required to do decent damage to the boss. And right now, I'm not even close. Freezing the enemy is pretty much important. This thing is good for extra attack speed, because if you get a lot of charge attacks, it takes a while for them to activate, basically. So yeah. Alright, so we have plenty of attack speed right now. We don't have the Trekking Eye though, so our attack isn't there yet. We have a couple of arrows that fly around pretty fast right now, which is cool. The drawback, they don't all fly towards the boss, which is sad. Oh well, there we go. We get the weapon enhancement. Let's get this one. So this is actually pretty cool for this fight. Even with the lower attack speed or anything, you are free to move around. You are free to do way more movement, and that will, in the end, add up quite a lot to your damage, because you can't stand still for long here. It will still do plenty of attacks that you would like to avoid, and there is no easy way to do that in order to stand still. Let's get the front shooting arrow. Alright, maybe we'll get lucky and we will be able to get the Trekking Eye. Probably not, we're out of wounds. Yeah, the build isn't great. As you can see, if you get a lot of those projectiles, you either would like to stay really close to it. Let's try that. Close range the arrow build, so you can get all those arrows into the enemy. Like just circling right next to it, so that can pierce it and do that DPS, which is actually pretty cool. Or you need Trekking Eye to make sure that all arrows hit the enemy. There we go, that actually worked great. And we managed to do 20 million damage. Dope. So there we go, that's the boss guide for you. I hope it was useful for you. If you get extra tips for the newer players or for other boss fights, share them down below in the comments. That would help a lot. And check out the playlist with the rest of the videos, the rest of the boss fights, wiki for the text info, like this guide as well, and LD player links so you can play Archero 2 on the PC, which will allow it to be more convenient. You can avoid projectiles easier and like control your character better. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. It's been Kosh. Have a good one. Bye.